I discovered sandwich. I should
I don't have period, so but as I looked at it yesterday, I don't need it behind the fence. All right, listen up. Listen up. Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. Hey, in case you do not know it, there's going to be a fire drill at 12:45.
We heard Chinese some bigger screaming.
So between now and lunch, if you want to grab your jackets, grab your jackets. I don't know if it's cold. Let's see. It's
really cold.
It's 41 degrees outside.
Jack Frost, maybe. That's true.
Sure.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
All right, quiet, please. Yes. Well, by the end of the day, as long as it's all right, quiet, please. All right, listen up. So we're going to do a review today. That's the only thing we're doing today. The test is tomorrow. This will be the first test of the quarter. So first quarter is already over and done with. So this is your first grade, really important one of the quarter. So let's make sure we do well on it. Any questions on the homework? Was that worksheet? So, by the way, you had all the answers to.
Number 28.
Number 20? Yeah. 5 times 3 is 15, so 15m squared is right.
All right.
1 times 3m is 3m. 5m plus 3 is 15, so this would be 3m plus 15, which would be 18m, and 1 times 3 is 3. Now, as I looked at some people yesterday doing their work, Anna didn't do any work. She just wrote the answers, right? And I made the comment. I was like, yeah, that's what good students, like, once they get into Algebra 2, this is not going to be something that you literally actually have to do scratch work on, right? You have done this so many times that you will understand the pattern. I'm just going to make the argument that most of you aren't there. And I would even say for Anna that you're going to probably make a silly mistake if you don't look at it, right? Right? But clearly, that's the path that we're on, is that you can kind of do these in your head. That's not where we need to be for the test tomorrow. If you write the answer and it's correct, and you didn't copy it off your neighbors, right? Yeah, I'll give you full credit for it because this can be done. I don't do the scratch work. I just did it for Tristan right there and showed him what I do. The issue is that for some of you out there, I don't think we're there yet. And if you put the wrong answer to a binomial times a binomial and there's no work there, I'm going to take all the points away. Don't let me do that, right? Let me give you some partial credit. I mean, if you got, notice when you do this multiplication, you get 4 things, right? If you write those 4 things correctly and then it was just your adding, or you just made a, I don't know, notational error, or somehow you change a negative to a positive, I'll take a point away. And I won't take 4 points away. So allow me to help you tomorrow on the test by showing me all your work. Okay? But Anna, yes, if you just want to do it in your head and you know it's right, you certainly can do that. Just be careful. All right, any other people, specific questions? Hey, whatever's going on in the back there, please stop. Distract me. Any questions? Are you confident now that you knew a binomial times a binomial? All right, here's the issue. The issue is the test is on lots of things. Let's see, the first thing we did was we did adding and subtracting polynomials. All right, when you add and subtract polynomials, typically I don't see anybody make a mistake on adding, it's the subtraction. So, for instance, if we had 4x squared minus 3x plus 10, and to that we're going to subtract 2x squared minus 4x plus 10. What do we have to do with every sign on the inside? We have to write the opposite. When you subtract, it changes all the signs. When you add, it doesn't change any sign. But when you subtract, it changes all these signs. So that when you stack them, when we're doing subtraction, not addition, when we subtract them, when we stack the numbers, I write the opposite. What's the opposite of 2x squared? So I write negative 2x squared. What's the opposite of negative 4x? Positive 4x. What's the opposite of 10? Now I can stack them and add them. You're like, wait a minute, you said you were subtracting. Yeah, remember, subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. That's what we literally did. We wrote the opposite. We haven't done this in, I don't know, a week. So you're going to get a review sheet today where I don't know how many I give you. I think it's 4. 2 addition, 2 subtraction. Most people will get the addition right, but the subtraction is where the pieces kind of fall apart. People will forget to write the opposite of everything. People remember to change the first one. They forget to change all of them. And then somehow they put another negative here. Because they're like, well, I don't know. It said subtract, so I just, no. When you change all the signs, you are now adding. Subtraction is the same as adding the opposite of everything. Okay? So that was adding, subtracting. Any questions? All right. Remember the review day we did when I had the rules over there for adding, or for multiplying, for adding, and for power to a power? Those are also on the test. So what's the rule for multiplying with exponents? You got to add the exponents. What's the rule for power to a power? You got to multiply. Okay? Make sure you have those rules. Remember, you can bring a resource card. As you're doing the practice test, know fully. Aiden, how many times have I given you a practice test where the real test was different? No time. It's not different. He was thinking this, but he said it backwards. I don't give a different test than the practice test. The practice test is the test. If question number 1 is add polynomials, question number 1 on the test will be add polynomials. You're going to know today, if you do the work, you're going to know today, can you pass or fail the test? For those of you that are struggling with certain concepts, put it on your resource card. I do not care if you take the practice test and directly copy. Some people say, well, just kind of use this page off the practice test? 1 page. Sure. Right? You can't use the whole practice test, but you can use one of the pages.
What if I staple it?
If you want to cut and staple? Absolutely.
We could do that?
I don't care. It's just give me 1 piece of paper, front and back.
That's
right. Some of you, not in this class, but the 10th graders, I'll just say straight up, the 2 hardest classes, geometry is crazy hard and chemistry is crazy hard. I mean, like a hardness that you have never encountered in your academic career yet. I have A students that are not getting A's in geometry. There are A students that are not getting A's in chemistry. It's not that they're failing, but they're normal, hey, math is easy, changes in geometry. It changes in chemistry. I've always been good in science, and chemistry comes at you like a freight train, right? Most people, justifiably so, are scared of chemistry. It's a hard course, right? So I have 10th graders right now because the chemistry teacher does the same thing I do. It allows you to bring in a sheet of paper with anything you want written on. If you look at a 10th grader's, I call them cheat sheets, but if you look at their resource card, right, they have they need a microscope to see those words that they wrote. They're writing so much stuff. But what it basically also shows you is that they're taking advantage of the situation of that they're going to, hey, you showed me 1 sheet of paper, I'm going to use it. So please, for some of you that are struggling with some of this, make a good resource card. And then the last thing is, unfortunately for this class, I'm about to hand you a piece of paper and say, work by yourself, right? And Rowan, within 3 minutes, is going to be, I don't know, standing on his head or something like that, all right?
definitely.
Make sure, and I'm exaggerating there, but make sure you use this time wisely. I'm physically here right now to give you assistance. If there's something on this material that you know you're still struggling with, we still have time. The test isn't in front of you yet. I can, if need be, I can print you out as many problems as you want on that one concept. And then lastly, I know I said it's the 4th time, I'll say it right now. It is the test that I'm handing you. You will know what you need to study. Study the ones that you get wrong, not the ones you get right. Okay? All right. There are answers on this. So I will collect your homework, and then we'll pass out the review sheets. Yes?
Does this need to be a normal size?
Normal size sheet paper. Right? 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 11.
It's got exact measurements too.
Ari's coming around to grab your homework, worksheets, and DH is going to hand out the practice test.
Over.
Great. Hey, Make sure you are working. Make sure you are working.
Boring topic.
12 or 11?
12:45. So it's going to be at the end of lunch.
It will never be.
And I don't know if Mr. Brubaker will be here or the lunch monitor, but it'll be one of the two. If Brubaker shows up early, then he'll take it. All right, e-learners, I'm going to stop it right there. All we're going to do is the practice test. If you have any questions between now and the test, send me an email. Lastly, I'll have the test up by, I think I'm going to have it up by 11 o'clock tomorrow, so you'll be able to see it a little bit early, if you so desire. Make sure on your test you show me all your work.